All right, let's dive right in. We're going to cut through all the marketing noise and give you a real, no-nonsense guide to picking the right infrared sauna for your home.
So, you're thinking about getting a home sauna. You're definitely not alone. It's become this huge wellness trend, right? The idea of having your own private retreat for health and relaxation is pretty amazing. But the big question is it actually the right move for you and your home?
And let's be real, the appeal here goes way deeper than just, getting hot and sweaty. You're probably after the real therapeutic stuff, like pain relief or finally getting a good night's sleep. But does the science actually back up what the salespeople are telling you?
And this is where your head can start to spin. You start hearing all these terms like full spectrum, low EMF, carbon heaters, and it can feel like you've hit a wall. But don't worry, we are going to unpack all of that step by step.
Okay, first things first. What are you actually getting for your money? Let's talk about the why and really separate the proven scientific benefits from all the marketing hype out there. So what's the deal here? Is an infrared sauna some kind of miracle cure-all? Or is it just a really nice box to get warm in? Well, the truth, as it usually is somewhere right in the middle.
This is where we need to be smart shoppers. There are legit, evidence-based benefits to using an infrared sauna, for sure. But there are also a ton of claims that are, well, let's just say they're a bit exaggerated or don't have the science to back them up yet. Let's look at the difference.
So the science is really solid on a few key things. We've got studies showing that infrared therapy can give you real, temporary relief from things like arthritis pain and stiffness. And get this, a massive study back in 2015 actually linked frequent sauna use to a significantly lower risk of fatal heart problems. That's a pretty powerful reason to believe in the circulation and heart health benefits.
Now for the hype. You hear detox everywhere, right? Well, while you do sweat out a tiny bit of bad stuff, your liver and kidneys are the real powerhouses. They're doing like 99% of the work. And that 5 pounds you lost in the sauna? I hate to break it to you, but it's pretty much all water weight. It'll come right back once you have a glass of water. So the takeaway is simple. Focus on the proven stuff, not the miracle claims.
All right, let's get into the fun part, the tech. This is where you're going to make some of your biggest decisions, starting with the absolute heart of the sauna, the heaters.
You've probably seen the term full spectrum thrown around, especially on the more expensive models. It's not just a fancy marketing buzzword. It really just means the sauna is built to give you 3 different kinds of infrared light, and each one has a very specific job to do.
So here's how it works. You've got near infrared, or NIR, which works right on the surface, great for skin health. Then there's mid-infrared, MIR, which goes a little deeper into your muscles to help with pain and circulation. And finally, far infrared, FIR, goes the deepest of all to help you really relax. A full-spectrum sauna is designed to give you all 3 of those benefits at the same time.
Okay, now for one of the biggest debates in the sauna world, carbon versus ceramic heaters. The material that heats your sauna is going to completely change your experience, how much it costs to run, and of course, the price tag.
Let's put these two head-to-head. Carbon heaters use these big panels, so you get a really even, gentle heat all around you. They're more energy efficient, but yeah, they cost more up front. Ceramic heaters, on the other hand, are cheaper and they heat up way faster, but they can create these really intense hot spots. So it really boils down to what you value more, a lower price tag now or better performance and comfort for years to come.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the practical stuff. How much room do you actually need? This is so important, and it's probably the biggest mistake people make when they're buying a sauna. So you're browsing online, and you see a nice 3 or 4 person sauna. The listing says it has a 6 foot by 6 foot footprint, and you're thinking, perfect, I've got just the spot in the garage for that, right?
Well, not so fast. And this is the critical detail that almost everybody misses. That 6x6 number? That's just the sauna itself. It doesn't include the mandatory safety space you need all the way around it for proper ventilation.
Just take a look at this. It's a total game changer. That 6x6 sauna? It actually needs an 8x8 foot space once you add the required 1 to 1.5 feet of clearance on every side. And believe me, this isn't optional. It's absolutely essential to prevent moisture buildup and reduce any fire risk. So please, always measure for the total space, not just the footprint.
And now let's talk about what is, without a doubt, the #1 project killer if you're not prepared for it: electricity. Seriously, before you even think about clicking that buy button, you have to run through this checklist. First, measure your total space. We just covered that. Second, take a good, hard look at your home's electrical panel. And third, and this is the most important one, call an electrician. That last step is not a suggestion.
And here's why. I love this phrase. Electrical failure equals thermal failure. What does that actually mean? It means if you don't have enough power, your brand new sauna will never get up to the right temperature. You'll have just bought yourself a very, very expensive wooden closet.
Check this out. Even the little guys, the 1 or 2 person saunas, need their own dedicated 15 or 20 amp circuit. You can't just plug this thing into a regular wall outlet. And for the bigger 4-person models, they often need a 220-volt connection, which almost always means you're hiring an electrician to run a whole new line for you.
Okay, last but definitely not least, let's talk safety. Once this thing is all set up, you want total peace of mind. And that means understanding EMF levels and knowing who should and maybe shouldn't be using the sauna.
EMF, or electromagnetic fields. You hear about it a lot, and it's a valid concern for people who want to minimize their exposure. And as you can see here, the levels can be wildly different. Your standard models might be around 5 milligauss, but look at the premium ultra-low EMF models. They're engineered to get way down below 0.5. If this is a big deal for you, the key is to look for brands that actually provide third-party test results to prove their numbers.
And this is probably the most important slide of all. Look, a sauna is fantastic, but it is absolutely not for everybody. If you are pregnant, if you have a serious heart condition, MS, or you're on certain medications, you must talk to your doctor first. This isn't something you guess about. Your safety has to come first, always.
So there you have it. You know the real science behind the benefits, you know the tech inside the box, and you know the crucial real-world stuff like space and power. You are officially equipped to make a smart choice. So the only question left is a home sauna the right wellness investment for you?